Hariom. Greetings from Pittsburgh. I begin by wishing all happy holidays. For most in North America, today's an official holiday. And so many are thinking, why do we have a workshop then? Look at all of you. It is your sincerity by which we are having this workshop. And then in a meaningful yet corny way, I think it was Puja Swami Chinmayananda who said, there are no holidays, there are only holy days. So any day we remember the environment is a holy day. All of you, our community, were already seekers. All of you, our community, were already environmentalists. What happened this year, though, is that a catalyst was added into our heads and our hearts and our hands. I know very little about science, but I do remember that a catalyst speeds up chemical reactions. It speeds up a process. And that is what has happened this year in our community. We searched in a more sincere way, how do we practice being seekers and environmentalists? And in this sincerity, we came to Prthvi Sevasanga. Sangha is us communing. Seva, what are we doing while we're communing? We're serving. Who? Prthvi is everyone's middle name. Every one of us lives on Prthvi. What have we been doing for a year? Our first workshop was on January 30th of 2022. The way that I like to envision what we do is like what happens with the churning of the Milky Ocean, the Kshira Sagara Mantana, which is shared elaborately in Srimad Bhagavatam. When nature is rattled, what came first? The Kala Kuta. Kala means black, Kuta means heap. A black heap, which essentially is poison. And we very much can relate that. When we rattle nature, what comes? Oil comes, doesn't it? But oil's really poison in so many ways that are measurable and immeasurable. Now, when the Kala Kuta had emerged, what did all those around do? They solicited help from Bhagavan Shiva. And what did he do? He absorbed that poison. This is how I envision our Prthvi Sevasanga, that we're trying to absorb the poison that we and humanity has put onto this earth. Bhagavan Shiva is the best role model for environmentalism. From January, zooming into this more too, November, I was unable to be part of our workshop live because I was flying back from Trinidad. And interestingly, when I travel, I only travel with carry-ons, a backpack and a small roller bag. But that day, I was with a group that was coming back from Trinidad, and I had offered to roll someone's bag out of immigration, but immigration was watching me. And so they pulled me over into the secondary inspection, thinking I was doing something shady. So the lesson is have less stuff, then you get through immigration faster. See the experiences that come with having more stuff. Most of you are in many courses in our community, and I hope you read today the Pointers to Peace in 2023. How many of you read those today, the Pointers to Peace? How many of you are lying right now? So anyways, one of the points that I had written, but then I modified it because I couldn't write so much, was invest in nurturing the immaterial without compromise. Invest in nurturing the immaterial without compromise. Again, this is not one of the pointers that you received. And the implication of this is in two ways. Number one, if you're investing in the immaterial, that means you're investing in yourself. Correct? Patience, dedication, that's immaterial. It's not floating in a table or in the clouds. It's in you. The second is any material, where does it come from? Shaking the earth, correct? It doesn't matter what material you're referring to, it comes from shaking the earth. But if we're nurturing the immaterial, that means we're balancing the earth more. And now December, our 12th workshop for 2022. It's surreal how much meaningful successes we have felt over the past year. Minimalist living, sustainable thinking. This workshop was originally to be facilitated by Sumanji, but he couldn't because of family health reasons. So our team is stepping in. He essentially was going to speak about his experience at the ashram. I will share with you my experience at the ashram. Only the first day, the first message of the Vedanta course. I'm already living in the ashram for around 2 weeks, and they had given us some stuff. And now I'm in the lecture hall, and Pujya Swami Tejomayananda comes to the front and says, while you're living in the ashram, you will be given what you need. And if you're not given it, you don't need it. I had heart palpitations. They gave us one useless bag, a useless umbrella, 2 thin dhotis and kurtas. They essentially gave us nothing. And I thought, this is all we're going to get. But as soon as I started following the Vedanta course, I came to realize that everything that Pujya Swami Tejomayananda has shared, will share, is the truth. We were given all that we needed. When one follows sustainable thinking, it naturally brings in minimalistic living. What is sustainable thinking? It is being self-dependent. And if I can share this in a different way, it is being self-sufficient. If you are self-dependent, that means you're self-sufficient. That means you don't need stuff. You don't need a lot of stuff. You don't even need a little bit of stuff. This is what we're going to try to invest in this workshop. And before I pass this high message on to our team to make more real, we've been trying to encourage this now over this entire holiday season with a pledge through change.org. How many of you have signed this pledge? Should I ask how many of you are lying? Like everything I ask, you just put your hand up. Are you lying? Yes. Are you not lying? Yes. For those who have not signed this, please sign it. And those who have signed this, please read my comment when I sign this pledge, because it relates again to this month's workshop. Pausing here, our team will continue and I'll still be present and I'll share the final thought in our workshop. Again, happy to see all of you. Why do we have a workshop happening on Christmas? Look around. There's almost 50 of us that are part of this workshop. This shows our sincerity. Team?
Hari Om Vivekji, Hari Om everyone. Thank you everyone for being here this evening. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to watch a documentary. And the name of the documentary is Minimalism, a documentary about the important things. And in the interest of time, we're just going to watch about a half an hour of this documentary, which is in full length is about an hour and 20 minutes. So to give you a little bit of intro for it, because we're going to start at the 40-minute mark, have a brief pause, and then take us to the end of the documentary. It's basically about two friends who call themselves the Minimalists, and they started to follow this lifestyle basically because they were dissatisfied with the rat race. And so what the documentary does is follows them through their travels across the United States over a period of 10 months, where they're sharing their message to basically live deliberately with less, and also to promote their book, which is called Everything That Remains. And then throughout this documentary, we'll kind of see their journey, but then also hear from various authors, entrepreneurs, even scientists about their personal stories and how their life has changed by following a minimalist lifestyle. And then after that, we'll have some discussion and then our closing as well. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll get started.
And I think we saw it from minute 40 or so. So there's a lot more powerful stuff before that. And part of me felt overwhelmed when I watched it. And then the rest of the Prthvi Seva team sort of helped me reflect on it a bit. And those of us who heard framework that Vivekji mentions, it really fits into that. Slow down, step back, see more, and smile on. In terms of articles, that's what the documentary mostly focused on, but it also went into beings and circumstances. So we wanted to share a couple of reflection questions with you to think about for a few minutes, and feel free to respond them in chat. So take a moment to read them. So what is one action related to an article that you'll focus on that will help you slow down in light of minimalism? Same question for beings, and same question for circumstances in our life. Yeah, accessing phone a little bit infrequently. They said I think 150 times or something. We look at our phone. Everyone is thinking about it. Feel free to write in chat answers to the questions. How are you going to bring minimalism in your articles, beings, and circumstances? So we can smile on. Yes, saying no to more circumstances. This fear of missing out, it's okay. Rather, sometimes it's joy to miss out. So I'm not there all the time, but that's a cool one. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, being intentional, being deliberate. Those words were used quite many times in the documentary too. Also, picking and choosing our circumstances, then just going with it. Yes. Yeah, that feeling of lightness is fun, right? Like, I don't know if it's fun or not, but there's this a sense of ease that comes with having less stuff. And I can just go in my closet and find what I want, then keep looking for it. Yes. Mm. Thank you everyone for sharing thoughtful comments. And I guess one of you also listed, do sign the petition for gift giving pledge based on our last workshop. It sort of evolved into signing a pledge on change.org, saying that whenever we are gifting anyone or when we are taking a gift, being very mindful about it, that it's a sustainable gift. It's a quick thing to sign and take a pledge. And we will be continuing Prithvi Seva workshops every fourth Sunday at 8:30. We have work time if you're planning to implement any Prithvi projects, to chat with others, inspire others, learn from each other, and workshops that would follow. And we have also a survey that was sent out to you. If you haven't gotten a chance to take a survey, share with you what other workshops you might find meaningful, what else as we as a community could do. So 2 requests before we pass it on to Vivekji. Please sign, share, comment on the gift giving pledge, and help us complete the end of the year survey. Offer us feedback. Thank you, everyone.
Based on what you saw and what you listened to in our November workshop and now our December workshop, I'd like for everyone to share in the chat one way that you've started practicing changing your lifestyle. Not what you're theorizing, not what someone else is doing, but what is a way that you've started practicing changing your lifestyle? Only keeping things that I actively use. Yes. Stop buying clothing. Making rotis at home. So good. We have a saying in our culture Dharmo rakshati, rakshitaha, which means those who protect dharma, which really means those who follow dharma are protected by dharma. Prthvi Sevasanga, as I shared in the beginning, is all of you who are seekers and environmentalists. And then a catalyst was added this year for all of us to come together in a more efficient and effective way. What we are doing is we are engaging in protection. Inner protection through knowledge. The greatest, the only way to protect yourself was through knowing your nature, is through knowing unity. And when one knows this, then one starts to engage in external protection of nature. If you know your nature is infinite, then you are not different than space, air, fire, water, earth. The way you protect yourself, in the same way, you'll protect nature. We have been doing this, we are doing this, and we will continue to do this. Prithvi Sevasanga is not an experiment that we had an awesome year, see ya. This is a movement. A movement has a start time, but no stop time. And we're slowly planning our workshops for next year. And one of the thoughts I shared with our team was that for us to have the exact same workshops we had in 2022, but do it again in 2023. That way there's a follow-up on whether we're following through. That's why I'd asked you, what are you doing based on the November and December workshop? It's so easy to share, I will do this. Like I will wake up in the morning. I will be patient with people. Versus actually waking up in the morning and being patient. This whole month, I have offered my dakshina to our crew, to our cooperators. I've done this in all of our courses and our workshops. We've done this through writing, through visuals. So this is the final engagement I have for 2022. So I once again offer my dakshina to our crew, to our cooperators. This is primarily being organized by a team of 5. Anvita, Kanchan, Rita, Zui, and Praveen. But that's not enough names. Obviously, that includes everyone else too. We hope to expand this team in 2023. It's not like there's a shortage of work. For everyone who saw the postings on social media, a very beautiful change in our community this year was sustainable thinking. What is sustainability in terms of a community? It is succession planning, where you have more people engaged in seva. This year, we calculated out we have around 101 seekers who are part of our community's effort. That is an astounding number of people who are serving. Growing this by 25%, 50% in 2023 is possible. And I know all of you who are really feeling what I'm sharing will come forward and write to us, write to our team, sharing that you're ready to do this, ready to do that. Feel good about yourself. Do you feel good about yourself? Try to feel what the notion of doing your best was in terms of the environment in January of 2022 and now December of 2022. Have we done our best? We've definitely done our best. And what's beautiful about the best in Sanatana Dharma, it's a sliding scale. Next year's best will be greater than this year's best. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. I offer my prayers to Bhagwan Shiva to grace us with the steadiness, the sincerity, and the strength for us to absorb the poison that is being, that the earth is being afflicted with, for us to be able to absorb that. Be safe, be sound, be serene, have a joyous completion to 2022 and a more joyous commencement to 2023. Be joy.